we celebrate this Sunday, the 18th Sunday in Ordinary Time. And so let us allow our Lord to speak to us in this reflection on the gospel. So the Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Someone in the crowd said to Jesus, "Teacher, tell my brother to share the inheritance with me." He replied to him, "Friend, who appointed me as your judge and arbiter?" Then he said to the crowd, "Take care to guard against all greed, for though one may be rich, one's life does not consist of possessions." Then he told them a parable. There was a rich man whose land produced a bountiful harvest. He asked himself, "What shall I do? For I do not have space to store my harvest." And he said, "This is what I shall do. I shall tear down my barns and build larger ones. There I shall store all my grain and other goods, and I shall say to myself, 'Now is for you. You have so many good things stored up for many years. Rest, eat, drink, be merry.' But God said to him, 'You fool, this night your life will be demanded of you, and the things you have prepared, to whom will they belong?' Thus will it be for all who store up treasures for themselves, but are not rich in what matters to God." The Gospel of the Lord. You know, I think sometimes we can kind of have the mentality that Jesus must not like the rich or the wealthy. It's not necessarily that. Those who are wealthy or rich, it's a gift and also it's meant to be shared. But in some way, we all can fall into the category of rich because sometimes we become rich of things, especially things that are not of God. It's not just money or wealth or possessions. It could be things that we hold on to that we need to let go. And why do we store them up, right? I think of those words of in the book of Job, naked I came forth from this world and naked I will return, and it's so easy to accumulate. I remember when I entered the seminary, I had two suitcases pretty much. I don't think I can pack my stuff in all but two suitcases now. How easy it is to just easily accumulate things, you know. And that can not that that's a that's not that things are bad. It's just sometimes we put too much emphasis on those things. We focus so much on possession. We focus so much on money and comfort. And of course, I think in some way, especially for us who live in the United States, we live by the American dream that you work hard, you're going to make it rich, right? And so it's someone ingrained in us that the more we have, the happier we're going to be. But if we just have to turn on the news and look at celebrities and music people and all that, and look how even with all that, there is an unhappiness there. And so money and fame and possession is not everything, you know, because what truly matters is just be rich with the things of God. And what are the things that are rich with God? Well, it's our relationship with Him first and foremost. Our personal, intimate relationship with Jesus Christ. That is true wealth. No matter how many relationships are broken in our lives or fall apart in our life, there's only one relationship that will always remain faithful. And it's a great gift. It's something that is worth, it's priceless. It's the pearl of great price that the person sold all that they had to acquire it. Are we willing to do the same? Are we willing to, of course, I'm not saying we're all called to be Franciscans and called to be living a life of poverty, but we can live poor. I mean, in a sense, we still have the resource we have to provide for our families, to make sure we have a shelter overhead. But I think the best approach with things of the world, is that we approach things with a grateful heart, with gratitude. Because as much as they came into our existence or how much they came into our possession, they can easily be taken away. And I think so we should be grateful for whatever we have. And one way of also responding to gratitude is to be generous. You know, the more that we de- I would say, deprive ourselves or sacrifice this desire that we need more and give that excess, give that whatever we have to others who really do need it. Um, we see there's so much the chalice of our hearts is full, and it fills to the brim. So yeah, it's hard to let go of things, right? It's hard to, to like, we look through the closet and say, how many clothes can I get rid of, right? Well, like, maybe I'll wear that one day, even though we may not wear that, or shoes, or whatever we have in the house. We kind of there's an attachment. That's the thing that sometimes is disordered, is that attachment. That attachment becomes more stronger than our attachment to God, to our relationship with Jesus. So we have to avoid this tendency to want to acquire more. What we should want more of is grace, closeness with Jesus, because that's what impels, that really actually creates who we are, that helps form who we are, that help us become who we are. A well-lived life is one that is lived for others, not for oneself. And when we only, like the rich man only, build up barns to place all our possessions, it's such an unhappy life, you know. It's suffocating. Whereas if we just allow ourselves, you know what, I'm going to divest myself from all these things. I'll keep the things I do need for whatever, but I'm going to put everything else, I'm going to give it away, truly, and give it all and live by providence. It's not easy in this world today, but we can also probably make some good decisions where we're not so attached. Um, so when Jesus says to us that we need to be rich with the things of God, those are the things that we should put more priority in. Our time for, our worship, celebrating the Eucharist, Sundays throughout the week, the time we give to just prayer, adoration, you know, having that, daily holy hour if all possible. Um, I think the only thing that we really do have control over is our time, because that's the only thing that we have really. And how do we use that? And so we need to use that to build and grow wealthy in the riches and riches of heaven. Um, so let's do that. Um, let's find something that maybe we just need to let go of now, you know, so that we can be more free, not just for ourselves, but it's also freeing for God to pour more of himself in us, and also allows us to become more available to others. So God bless you, everyone.